Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Monday. It is 15th of September. It is Ashwini Masa or Padmanabha Masa, Krishna Paksham, and the Navami Tithi. There are no Vaishnav events today, but we are coming nearer to Ekadasi. Ekadasi is on Wednesday. Wednesday is Indira Ekadasi. So for today, we shall move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Maitreya Muni speaking to Vidura about how the universal creation it has emanated, and then so here initially Pradhana and then Prakriti and then Mahatattva, where the Mahatva is source of the Ahankara, which is manifested from goodness, passion, and ignorance, from mode of goodness. Mind and all the demigods were manifested, and from mode of passion and the senses, that Jnanendriyas and Karanendriyas, along with their Kriya Sekti, Jnana Sekti, Prana Sekti, all those energies are also got generated. And then from mode of ignorance, Tanmatras and Panchabhutas got generated. And here, after that, demigods, so for their inability to carry out their functions independently, so they have offered their prayers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After that, the Lord has heard the prayers, and then what he has done, so along with the Kala Shakti, he has entered into the 23 elements. Kala Sanyam Tada Devi Vibhra Shakti Murukramaha Trayo Vimshati Tatvanam Ganam Yugapat Avishet. So he has entered Yugapat at the same time simultaneously into the 23 elements. Whenever it is mentioned 23 elements, it is Ahankara, mind, and the 20 elements of this Panchabhuta and all those stuff. What is the one more element? So there is another Mahatattva. So Mahatattva, Mityahankara, mind. These are the three plus 20 elements of Tanmatras, Panchabhutas, Jnanendriyas, Karanendriyas. He has entered into simultaneously to all those 23 elements. After that, so Anupravishto Bhagavan Chesta Rupena Tam Ganam Bhinnam Samyojayamasa Suptam Karma Prabhodayan. So as soon as Lord has entered, and all these activities are the karmic activities are activated. They're started to carry out. In order to carry out those things, and everyone are activated. So later on today, Maitreya Muni is mentioning that so the Lord has manifested his form in this universe in the form of a Virat Rupa. In the form of Virat Rupa. Okay, so likewise, Maitreya Muni is saying, we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, chapter 6, verse number 4. प्रबुद्ध कर्म दैवेन त्रयोविंशतिको गणः प्रेरितो अजनयत् स्वाभिः मात्राभिः अधिपूरुषम्. Prabuddha karma daivena. Prabuddha karma. So this is awakened activities. Prabuddha karma, awakened activities. Daivena, by the will of the Supreme. Trayo vimshatiko ganaha. Trayaha vimshatikaha. By the 23 principal ingredients. Ganaha, that combination. Trayo vimshatiko ganaha. Prerito ajanayat. Preritaha is the induced by Ajanayat, they were manifested. Swabihi, Matrabihi, Adipurusham. Swabihi, by his personal, Matrabihi, plenary expansion, Adipurusham, the gigantic universal form, or Vishwarupa. So that form got manifested, which is his personal plenary expansion. प्रबुद्ध कर्म दैवेन त्रयोविंशतिको घनः प्रेरितो अजनयत् स्वाभिः मात्राभिः अधिपूरुषम्. Translation: when the 23 principal elements were set in action by the will of the Supreme, the gigantic universal form or the Vishwarupa body of the Lord came into existence. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If Garangi Mataji is not here, can I request anyone, any unallocated devotee to read the purport, please? Swarup Prabhuji, would you like to read, Prabhuji?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. The Virat Rupa or Vishwarupa, the gigantic universal form of the Lord, which is very much appreciated by the impersonalist, is not an eternal form of the Lord. It is manifested by the supreme will of the Lord after the ingredients of material creation. Lord Krishna exhibited this Virat or Vishwarupa to Arjuna just to convince the impersonalist that he is the original personality of Godhead. Krishna exhibited the Virat Rupa. It is not that Krishna was uh, it was not that Krishna was exhibited by the Virat Rupa. The Virat Rupa is not therefore an eternal form of the Lord exhibited in the spiritual sky. It is a material manifestation of the Lord. The Arka Vigraha or worshipable deity in the temple is a similar manifestation of the Lord for the neophytes. But in spite of this their material touch, such forms of the Lord as the Virat and Archa are all non-different from his eternal form as Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai, thank you, Prabhuji. So here in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is describing Virat Rupa or Vishwarupa, the gigantic universal form of the Lord, which is very much appreciated by the impersonality, is not an eternal form of the Lord. It is a temporary form. So in the Bhagavad Gita, whenever Krishna described, when Krishna was showing this universal form to Arjuna, Arjuna was asking, whenever Krishna was mentioning, Arjuna was asking, can I see whatever you have been explaining? You are saying that aham adrihi devanam, likewise, um, uh, aham Vishnuhu adityanam. Likewise, Krishna was mentioning many things. I wanted to see all those things. Can you please show me all those things? If you think I am eligible or I am capable to see or I am eligible to see by your mercy. So likewise, Arjuna, when he requested, then Krishna has given the divine eyes. So he was mentioning Pasme Pardharupani Setato Ata Sahatrashaha Nana Vidhani Divyani Nana Varna Kritini Cham. So there are so many beautiful forms of Arjuna. So you can see all these things, but you cannot see with your ordinary eyes, but you need to have a divine eyes. And then Krishna gave the divine eyes to Arjuna. Then Arjuna was saying, Aneka Bhaktra Nayanam, Aneka Adbhuta Darshanam, Aneka Divyabharanam, Divya Aneka Mujjitayudham, Divya Malyam Bharadharam, Divya Gandhanulepanam, Sarvashcharyamayam Devam, Anantam Vishuto Mukam. It is gigantic universal. It has got so many things. Okay, so but that is a so many faces, so many of hands, and so many of tummies like that, and garlands, and everything is divine, that gigantic form. But that was manifested by Krishna personally. It is not that Krishna was manifested by the Virat Rupa. Virat Rupa came from Krishna. So it is manifested by the supreme will of the Lord after the ingredients of the material creation. So this one we can perceive whenever a living entity entered into the womb. So by the time there are ingredients are there, then the living entity comes. It is the Redha Pumsa Kanashrayaham. So this is Karmana Devanetrena Jantuhu Dehu Upapattaye. Sriyaha Pravishtamadhram Pumsaharetah Kanashrayah. Taking the shelter of the semen of a man, enter into the womb of the mother. It is, and then ingredients are already there. And then as soon as the living entity enters the womb of the mother, there it keep on growing because the living entity is there. That it is not that womb is there so that living entity can. It is not the other way around. It is because living entity enters there and then it keep growing because of the presence of the living entity. The material ingredients are keep on changing. So this is after the living entity enters. This is a small, tiny form to understand in our day-to-day experiences. But the Lord in a gigantic form. So Lord is already there, and then He entered into these elements, and then it is manifested by the supreme will. This is Virata Rupa. The Lord exhibited this Virata or Vishwarupa to Arjuna just to convince the impersonalists that He is the original personality of Godhead. And then, so otherwise, Arjuna already, before this showing to this Vishwarupa itself, in the 10th chapter itself, Arjuna has glorified the Lord. Param Brahma, Parandhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, Adidevam, Ajim Vibhum. So your Parabrahma, there itself he accepted. So he does not need to have to see this universal form. Again, here, it is Vishwarupa to Krishna exhibited Vishwarupa or Viratrupa to Arjuna just to convince the impersonalist. Because here not only showing to Arjuna, that at the same time, the Sanjaya is also seeing this form by the mercy of Vyasadeva and then explaining to Dhritarashtra also. So there are maybe other people are also seeing who have got some divine vision as of that point of time. And otherwise, if simply Arjuna has accepted the time, and then there Sanjaya might have spoken something, and Dhritarashtra might have misunderstood something else. So here everything is practical. And Krishna exhibited the Virat Rupa. It is not that Krishna was exhibited by the Virat Rupa. The Virat Rupa is not, therefore, an eternal form of the Lord exhibited in the spiritual sky. Therefore, an eternal form of the Lord is exhibited in the spiritual sky. It is a material manifestation of the Lord. So here in the spiritual world, this Virat Rupa is not needed. There he has got a Sachidananda Rupa, where he enjoys with all the gopis, gopas, and also people of Vaikuntha in the different spiritual planets. And here the Archa Vigraha, the worshipable deity in the temple, is a similar manifestation of the Lord for the neophytes. But in spite of their material touch, such forms of the Lord as the Virata and Archa are all non-different from his eternal form as Lord Krishna. Okay, so this is Archa Vigraha. Whatever we are going to the temple and do the Archa. So we see the deity forms, beautiful deity forms, and then they do some aratis and chamras and then doop, deep and everything. When Lord is manifested his Archa Vigraha, then we get the opportunity to worship the worshipable deity in the temple. So this is for Madhyasna Darshana Puja Stuti Abhivandanaihi Bhuteshu Mad Bhavanaya Satvena Asangamena Cha. So that one's consciousness can be easily absorbed in the form of the Lord. Okay, so that is for the neophytes. Otherwise, how long one has to go to the temple and worship the deity? Kapila Bhagavan describes until he says that he does not differentiate, he is good, he is bad, and he is likewise, he says everywhere the Lord until that point of Etavadhyeva. So that one also described in the 29th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, third canto, 29th chapter. Until that point, he must carry out those activities. And then after that, if he is carrying, that is well and beautiful. But wherever he goes, it becomes a temple and pilgrimage. Because Swantastena Gadabhrita. So he keeps the Lord in his heart. So he would see only the Lord everywhere. Okay, so that is for the in the initially it is the neophytes to be trained properly to see the Lord everywhere. And here, but in spite of this material touch, such forms of the Lord as Virata and Acha are all not different from eternal form as Lord Krishna. So here, Krishna has got his eternal forms like Krishna in the Goloka Vrindavana, Narayana in the Vaikuntha planets or Vishnu. So likewise, these are all eternal forms. But when coming to the Purusha incarnations, somewhere or other they are engaged in the creation of this material universe, starting from the Mahavishnu, Garbhodak Sai Vishnu, Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu. They are engaged in a little bit of material universal affairs. But though they are engaged here, they are completely spirit, they are eternal forms. But indirectly, they are engaged in this, or directly or indirectly, they are engaged in the universal functions, but their forms are eternal. But Krishna and Narayana, they never come in contact with the Maya. That one also described. So whenever Krishna says this, Sambhavami Atma Maya, so Krishna, whenever he comes, but that is by his internal potency, Atma Maya. And he has got those forms eternally in the Goloka or in Vaikuntha planets. Okay, so that is Prabhupada is describing here. But here in the temples, whatever you see, these are Archa Vigrahas. They're also not different from eternal Krishna, eternal form of Krishna. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So here, Maitreya Muni mentioning, Prabuddha karma daivena त्रयोविंशति को गणः प्रेरितो अध्ययत स्वाभिः मात्राभिः अधिपूरुषम्. And similarly, the living entity, he has got his original form, the spiritual body, because of his presence. So likewise, how do we understand? I have got a human body or man body or young body or adult body. According to that, I wear the dresses. When the spiritual living entity, according to its consciousness, it has got its spiritual form, and then because of that, it wears the bodies of material bodies, like it wears a woman body, it wears a man body, or a dog body, cat body, like that. It is a consciousness. As soon as that consciousness absorbed into the Krishna consciousness, then it will the eternal form of Krishna, that Krishna consciousness, then according to work according to the will of the Lord, that Mamaivam Jiva Loki, as understanding that I am the part and parcel and I am the eternal servant of the Lord, then he will go back to, so again, relationships, Sambandha, Bideya, Prayojana, those things to come into the picture. And the form also, whatever the beautiful form we wanted to have and associate with Krishna, that will also be manifested. For that, we have to observe and mold our day-to-day devotional activities towards Krishna. That is consciousness. According to the consciousness, we get the bodies, suitable bodies. So for the universal form, in order to manifest all this universe and the 14 planetary systems and all the demigods, let and all these living entities, now the Lord has got manifested this universal form, Virata or Vishwarupa body of the Lord. It came into existence. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Shall we move to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter? So today letter to Bansidhari, November 16th, 1970, Bombay. Okay. Can I request Asha Mataji to read this letter, please?
Krishna. My dear my dear Bansidari, please accept my blessings. I beg to thank you for your nice report from Santa Barbara dated October 22nd, 1970. I am always so glad to know that you are keeping to the standard practices as I have instructed you to do, and all the devotees are feeling the sublime result of their work in Krishna's loving service. Your program for extending Sankirtana party activities to the nearby towns and cities and universities is very welcome. I have received similar good report of such extended Sankirtana party tours or trips from many other centers in Europe as well as America. Lord Chaitanya's desire was that this chanting of the holy names be spread to every town and village on the face of the globe. And now his desire is being fulfilled. That is your credit and a sincere servant of the Lord. It is always it is always the difficulty with the karmis that they have no time for attending spiritual function or gatherings. Sukadeva Goswami analyzes the situation for the karmis in the narration of Bhagavatam as sleeping, as indulging in sex life in the night and the daytime working hard. Where is money? Where is money? And when they have got money, how to accumulate household paraphernalia, etc. Anyway, by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, even such materially absorbed persons can be extricated from their entanglement in the Maya by contact with offenseless chanting of the Lord's holy names. Hare Krishna mantra. If you vibrate this transcendental sound everywhere continuously, it will pierce their ears and enter their hearts, and then their natural attraction for Krishna will be revived. So do not care for the temporary excuses of the unwilling and unfortunate persons. You simply carry out program forward distributing Sankirtana, Prasadam and literatures, and the effect will take place. I am very glad that your distribution to the libraries is well received. Please get out, sorry, please get our books, at least one full set in every city and college library in your neighboring areas. And if you read these literatures carefully, you will realize the topmost science of Krishna consciousness and be more inspired to spread the same to all persons as their real welfare benefit. Please keep me informed about your activities. Hope you are well. You are ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, from this letter?
I'll try to. So the Prabhu sent a report to Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada was so happy uh, to get to know that he is practicing the standard, following the standard practice as Srila Prabhupada instructed to the devotees. So he said that Krishna will be always pleased of their loving service to the Lord. And Also, he mainly mentioned that Sankirtana party activities should be in every single town, cities, universities, and colleges. So they are very important. So they have to, they have to spread the Krishna consciousness and Sankirtana party in every place in the globe. And so Srila Prabhupada mentioning here that this is Lord Chaitanya's desire about chanting the holy name, and it should be spread all over the world, especially every single village and every town and every village and town in the country. So that's how we can fulfill his desire. So the credit go to the servants who do the Sankirtana party all over the world. And also he mentioned that when we try to do the Sankirtana party, some karmis say they don't have time because they have no interest, and they always say no time. They are always after sleeping and working, and they are after money. So then they always spend the money on unwanted material things. So our main aim should be chanting the holy name and spread the holy names, vibrate the holy names all over the world. And we should leave our temporary excuses and unfortunate souls we would also avoid, I think, Prabhu. But the Prashadam and literatures, Sangirtana party should be taking place all over the place. And also, lastly, he mentioned that get new book set every book set, literature book set should be in every college and schools, every city, in every city. So the impact will be very big, like Krishna consciousness will be there. For this should be happen for everyone's welfare benefit. So mainly he mentioned about spreading holy name, Sankirtana party, Prashadam, distributing books in every village and town, Prabhu. That's all I could understand. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very nicely explained. Okay, any other comments, dear devotees, you wanted to add? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So here when Prabhupada is mentioning people of material world. So Nidraya Hrite Naktam Vyavayena Vavayah Diva Chadda Ihe Arajan Kutumba Bharanenava all the time. Dukki. This is Gruhe Kotatantreshu Dukkatantreshu Atindritaha. Kurvan Dukka Pratikaram Sukhavan Manyate Gruhe. So this is the materialistic people, how they always trying to fulfill their desires. Nidraya Hirite Naktam Vyavayenam. In the nighttime, sleeping and sex life, and the daytime, working very hard, and then Kutumba Bharana, maintaining material things. With this one, they're always engaged, and then they put their plans, life plans, like I wanted to earn this much money, accumulate a house, and those things. They will put all kinds of problems in front of them, and then trying to solve each and every problem. They think that as soon as they solve it, and then yes, I am happy. Kurvan dukkha pratikaram, sukhavan manyate grihe. That is the way of, but they do not know the real happiness. But by mercy of Lord Chaitanya, materially absorbed persons can be extricated from their entanglement in Maya by contact with offenseless chanting of Lord's holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. So by chanting gradually, so it is not one of the, again in the first 10 offenses towards the holy name. So this is not a karma kanda. So consider chanting of the Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritual activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities. It is not fruitive activity. It is the transcendental Maha Mantra. Anyone can, whoever chants, they will be liberated easily. Okay, so if you vibrate these transcendental sounds everywhere continually, it will pierce their ears. Pravishtaha karnanandrina swanam bhavasuroruham dhunoti shamalam krishnaha sarilasya yatasharat. And then Lord enters into their heart, pierces their ears and enters into their hearts, and then their natural attraction for Krishna will be revived. This is by chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay, so that is, and do not worry about the temporary excuses of unwilling and unfortunate person. You simply carry out our program for distributing Sankirtana, Prasadam, literature. This is a beautiful thing. It must keep on going on. It doesn't matter. There may be people may be coming and going, coming and going. So according to their constitutional position, some may have elevated themselves and then they think that, okay, I have done with that. And then they keep journey further. So for advanced statuses, they wanted to maybe associate with further elevated souls. So likewise, the journey goes on. Sometimes we would see some people join at one point of time and then they will journey continue for some time and then some, but we must continue our uh, programs, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra and distributing Sankirtana Prasadam. And whenever they separated, they will establish new branch and again it will grow very nicely. Okay, that will continue. So we at any point of time we never stop for any persons or likewise it must keep going on all the time. So that is my reflection, and also put keeping all these books in the libraries and colleges. It will help for all the people so that they can have access to Krishna consciousness, which is the topmost science of. Okay, that is my takeaway point as well from this letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got teachings of Lord Chaitanya. We continue that is at 8 p.m. That is our upcoming event. And dear devotees, if you have got any updates or you want to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. And also just yesterday there was one message in the group about contributing towards some, I think, Radha Yatra festival. So I haven't got what that Radha Yatra festival. There is a pamphlet and there is a, I think it looks Keshu Swami was there in that picture. I did not know much details about it. And there is again a message by Saurav Prabhuji to contribute some towards that, but I don't know those details. Does any devotees have got any details on that part? Okay. If no one knows anything.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, sorry, I was a bit busy. Yeah, it's like Soweto is a town in South Africa, and Prabhupada really wanted to have a Rath Yatra there, and His Holiness Kadamakanand Maharaj, he started that, and it's a quite disturbing area. It's called like the rape capital of India. Lots of poverty and lots of unrest going on. So it was very difficult to start the Rath Yatra engaging. I mean, he started doing it like he prayed really hard. I mean, Prabhupada was not there, but he kept praying, how can he get success in doing Rath Yatra there? So in that way, he engaged all the students in the university, emailed them, got their email ID, and 200, I think, university students came, but there was still some unrest, but somehow that Rath Yatra succeeded. And then that way, the movement in South Africa started. Student found out about Lord Krishna, and that's how. So, and this movement is very close to ISKCON sorry, this Rath Yatra in Soweto is very close to the ISKCON movement, because how, I mean, all the I mean, I said that in just 1 minute, but it was a very difficult if you read about it, about how Kadam Ganan Maharaj started this, so it has got a special place in everybody's heart. So, and then I saw the message yesterday, didn't know it's happening, so maybe that's why I'm still because it's a poor country, it's a very poor country, and funding is always a thing. So that's why I think Saurabh Prabhu must have mentioned about the Keshav Maharaj thing. I think that is he's on some talk on, I think it was yesterday, some talk. I mean, he maybe from that talk, I don't know where it was, Instagram or somewhere. Maybe from that talk also, devotees can know what that Rath Yatra is about. So, and then that's a good way, I think, Keshav Saurabh Prabhu wanted, like if devotees wanted to contribute to help happen in a poor country. So I think that is what I understood from it, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for kindly sharing that information.
I have the same understanding, Prabhu, that exactly what Mataji said. I think also Keshav Swami Maharaj is also asking people to support Rath Yatra and the movement in this place in South Africa. So that's my understanding also.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. So are we devotees happy to continue for the fundraise? So around raising 200 to 250 pounds approximately. Maybe so 10 pounds per head approximately. So it may reach, I think, South Africa rand, something like that. That is the currency it looks.
Yes, Prabhu. I think if only like we 10 in the call, if just 10 more also who don't join, but like the close circle, I think 10 pounds each is not a big thing. So we can, if that happens, because in poor country, 200 pounds become a lot. So if that's a way, we're only helping Chaitanya. Finally, the thing is, even if it's a small amount, like it helps the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement in every town and village, why not? So we are there. And I think bank account wise, as you, I think Javid Mataji asked, but we can do as you always kindly share your account, and we donate the Lakshmi, and it's easier to do. We are happy doing that way. And taking this opportunity that Prabhu, I mean, because I have been busy with Pranshu's 11 plus exam, and I forgot to share the pictures of the West Bengal Rath Yatra in Sundarban, which our Vrindavan Prabhu arranged. I have got these pictures. I'll just go back, and at some point in a couple of days, I'll share the pictures in the group, because he also worked very hard. The weather was very bad. He expected 10,000, but I think 5,000-6,000 came from very far off places, like traveling 2 hours, 3 hours, because in all that big locality, there is no Rath Yatra. So, and it's a very big Rath, like 35 feet Rath after the Mayapur Rath. I think this is one of the biggest. So in that south West Bengal area, they visited that Rath, but because of the weather, I think not all, like 10,000 could not come, but at least 5,000. I mean, people came and they had to go back because the trains got cancelled and all. But people really, I mean, so Prabhu was very thankful about, and you remember how he wanted to thank everybody, inviting for a picnic and all, but we could not manage that. But he shared the pictures of a little bit, because I think he paid somebody to make a video, because he was a pujari there. So he paid somebody to from his own pocket to get make a video, and somebody's done it professionally and put it on YouTube. So I'll share that link. It's not like a sangha, I mean, it's not some devotee kind of YouTube link, but please click when I share it, click to see how it was nicely arranged. And he shared a few pictures and photo, I think, of the Snan Yatra. He wasn't there for the Ulta Rath because he had to come back. So I don't have pictures about that, but I mean, a lot of people had prasadam. So Prabhu was very grateful. But my sincere apologies that I could not share it in the group yet. I will very soon, Prabhu. Yeah. I just thought, I mean, it's Rath Yatra, took my memory back that I haven't done it. Because I was the one who, I mean, asked everybody to contribute, and I did not do my part. So my apologies. Please accept my humble apologies. And I'll share the picture in very shortly, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for kindly sharing that information. Okay, so if devotees are all happy, so I shall share again my bank account details, and then yeah, we shall keep a week or so to. So today is 15th, and we will wind up. So maybe 22 or maybe 10 days. We'll keep this one open for 1 week or so, and then we shall close our contribution raising of the funds for that one. Okay, I'll share that one today, Mataji. Thank you so much. And then we do on behalf of our Sangha as a combined. Any other updates, dear devotees, you wanted to share? Okay, in that case, we shall conclude and continue further japa. Vanjakalpatarubhyascha
कृपा सिंधु पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव। जय
Jai.
जय।
Hare Krishna.